Live from Los Angeles here on this Sunday morning. You know it's breaking box office as we have Wonka continuing to slay. This film has over $400 million worldwide, $465.8 million. It wins the weekend here in the States with $14.4 million. And you look at a film that continues to do well. Obviously, the Christmas Corridor was so kind to this film. We knew it would be, as one of the only two family options in the marketplace when you look at this in migration. And as such, you've got a film that continues to bank cash even into January because we're into the slow month of the year. As you guys know, this is a dump month. You've got January, you've got August. January is usually the worst of the months of the entire movie-going calendar because you just get a bunch of garbage that gets dumped in there by studios because they know most people are back to reality starting pretty much tomorrow for everyone that was off for the last 2 weeks. So we get films like Night Swim that open with $12 million. This is a $15 million Blumhouse production combined with Universal and ends up with about 17 plus million on the worldwide debut. So it's already over its budget. But remember, you got to make about 2.5 times budget for it to be profitable. So you're looking at about, what is that, 40 million or so plus. Could get there. Again, January looks dead. I just saw The Beekeeper last night. Check that reaction out. We'll talk about that more on MMT maybe tonight. Tonight's the Golden Globes post-game show earlier than normal. As soon as the Globes are over, we'll be on live. Let's also talk about Aquaman 2, $100 million stateside. And when you look at this film and do the autopsy on what Warner Brothers did the best they could do with this film, they dumped it during the Christmas corridor so it could make as much cash as possible. We know this is dead to James Gunn, dead to the DCU going forward. So what do? You just put it out at Christmas and you make as much money as possible. Now you're looking at $300 million worldwide, $100 million here in the States. Best case scenario for this film. Migration is at $150 million worldwide. Another one of the beneficiaries of the Christmas corridor, obviously, because it's a family film. I love this film, had a lot of fun with it, saw it again this past week. So I highly recommend it. And, again, for families in January, you're going to do no better than this film, along with Wonka. And as such, both films will play for the next few weeks. I think one of the more interesting stories this weekend is Anyone But You went up 9%. That never happens. We don't see a film now. Is it 3 weeks into the release? It's been a while now. Christmas Corridor. So 2.5, 3 weeks. That's crazy. Plus 9%. It speaks to it finding an audience, it being theatrical only. The TikTok crowd's in on it for Sweeney and for Powell. So you have the two of them, and the film has caught fire, and it really proved to the streamers out there, why not stick some of these garbage rom-coms? And yes, Anyone But You is not a great film, okay? It's better than Ghosted, but what's that saying? Ghosted could have made $50 million easy stateside, couldn't? With those two stars, Anna and Chris? Yes, I would think so. That film, my God, was it bad. But studios, streamers, pay attention. Anyone But You is still making good money and rising week to week. Another big story here for me, and you guys know I hate Poor Things. I mean, not just a level of it's a level of disdain. It's a level of hatred for a film that I have not possessed since Beau is Afraid, but I would suggest it's even worse. And when you look at, and we'll talk about this more tonight on the Golden Globes when it ends up winning, when you look at the relationship, and this is going to be a really tough subject tonight, but I'm sorry we're going to go there. Poor Things is abysmal. And I love seeing this film not do well. And listen, it's way under the favorite. The favorite ended up with 34 million stateside, 95 million worldwide. This film's now being rolled out internationally, so we'll figure what's going to happen there. But it's only at 14 million here stateside, less than half of the favorite. There are people on Twitter telling me, oh, you hate this movie, but it's going to do well. It's going to make 50 million domestic. One guy who's a film Twitter learned person told me, oh, really? We're at 14. Even with a Golden Globe win tonight, this film is not going to all of a sudden propel to like 30 or $40 million. It's at 14. Best case scenario, maybe it gets to 20, 25. That's a hell of a lot less than the 55 million that I was told it would make. I mean, it's just not a film that is going to work with 95% of the people out there. And I don't blame them. I had to sit through it. Worst experience this year, my worst film of the year. Go check that stream if you missed it last Sunday. Here's the top 10. Wonka, number one, 14.4, down 36%. These holds are going to be better than usual because of nothing in the marketplace. So you go, well, I mean, I guess I'll just go see something that's already been out for a few weeks because there's nothing except for Night Swim that opened. Night Swim at $12 million. The average per location was not great. It was actually under Wonka, $3,700 per. Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom, again, $100 million here in the States. Best case scenario for that film that's dead on arrival for the DCU. Migration now at 77.8 million stateside. Anyone But You is at 43.7, over 50 million international cash included. Boys in the Boat is doing some money, man. Look, here's a film, and I saw in the comments, and when are you going to see Boys in the Boat and Ferrari? We'll get to Ferrari in a minute, but I just haven't had the opportunity. I'm trying to catch up. I saw Maestro the other day. I'm probably going to watch Naiad tonight because I need to watch these before the Golden Globes because those films are actually nominated, Naiad and obviously Maestro. So I want to get those in before we do the post-game show tonight so I know all of the performances. I can speak to all the films. I might see Ferrari today if I get a moment, but I don't know. Boys in the Boat, I just don't really have much interest in, but it's at 33, call it $34 million for MGM Amazon. So that is a success for a film that is, obviously an adult drama. George Clooney directed based on a best-selling book, and that's done well. Color Purple is at $54 million, over $50 million for that film right now in 7th place. The Iron Claw, I expected more from this film. I'm not telling you that it's a failure. I'm going to tell you, though, that this film should be higher than $24.3 million. Now, the good news is it's only down 3%. Again, we don't see these kind of things, right? These holds or these ads in the 10 plus 10 or minus 10 range. It just doesn't happen except for now, this time of year, as you see the Iron Claw down 3%, but only $24 million. I really wish that film would be closer to 40. I know that's asking a lot. It's one of the best films of the year. Go see the Iron Claw. Ferrari is at $16 million. So Ferrari, a film that has had virtually no attention during award season, it has made more money than Poor Things. So now it has more locations, right? I'm going to give you that, but just going to throw it out there. And Poor Things number 10 with $2 million, $14.2 million banked for that film. So here's what's happening tonight. We'll be back for the Golden Globes post-game show. As soon as that's over, I'm going to guess about 8:30. So probably our regular time here in LA. It's 11:30 on the East Coast. We will start talking about what happened at the Globes. What's it mean for the Oscars going forward? Whatever else you want to talk about tonight. Maybe my most anticipated films of 2024 on the way as we get ready to roll into the year. But let's just hope that we get some good films soon. I think we have a little bit of a break. We have a very long stretch until we get to Dune. Until then, good luck to you. I'll see you tonight for the Golden Globes post-game show here on MMT. Peace out.